Hi there again, Izzy from digitalgoja.com showrooms. Today we're going to take a look at what all these numbers mean in front of our lenses, the nomenclature. A lot of customers have been asking, what do these numbers mean? What do they mean to me? What does it all do? Well, let's take a closer look. We're going to look at the more popular lenses on the Canon EOS line, which is the 18 to 55 kit lens, the IS STM, and of course the nifty 50. Let's take a closer look and figure out what these numbers all mean. Now, for example, let's take a look at the nifty 50 here. If you look at the front, it says that it's a Canon EF lens, 50 millimeter 1 to 1.8. What does that mean? It's a 1 ratio magnification and the maximum aperture is a 1.8. So that means with this lens, the aperture will always stay open at 1.8 maximum when you have it set that way, which is great because that makes it a really good lens for portraiture and to control your bokeh/bokeh. Now, if we look at our 18 to 55, which is a very popular lens, now this one has a lot more information. This one says it's an EFS lens and it shows 18 to 55 millimeter. What does that mean? Well, it's a zoom. You're starting out at an 18 millimeter perspective, which is your wide angle perspective. Let's take a look here, set it to live view. Notice how you have a wider perspective at 18, but I can actually go ahead, see if I can line this up, and zoom in or zoom out. Notice at 18 millimeter, I'm getting a wider perspective, and when I zoom in, now it focuses much more on the decals on the wall. So that's what that means. You're starting from an 18 millimeter and you're zooming all the way up to a 55 millimeter. Now here's your other nomenclature, the 1 again to 3.556. What does that mean? Well, on this lens, when you're working at 18 millimeters, your maximum aperture is at 3.5. But when you start zooming in past 24, when you get to 35 and 55, now your maximum aperture is going to be 5.6 because this is what is called a variable aperture lens. So it does change the f-stop depending on how you zoom. And of course, this one shows IS, which means image stabilization. That's why you have your image stabilizer button on and off. And it is one of the STM, the stepping motor system, which has become so popular now with the Canon lenses. So I hope this answers your question of what these crazy numbers mean on my lens.